Cody Rhodes and Jade Cargill become king and queen of the ring. Solo Sikoa picks up his first singles championship, and John Cena retains in his last ever match against CM Punk. But what do we think of the show? We've got an all new style. We have multiple categories to rank and break down, and then we should have an overall score of what we thought as a whole. So let's get into this.
First up, we've got match card. The match card was too cramped. There was too many matches, about 3 of unwanted matches. Didn't want to see Raquel, Rhea, didn't want to see Solo, and what was the other one?
Sami and Karrion, I'm guessing.
Sami and Karrion. Didn't want to see those. However, I really enjoyed the King and Queen of the Ring. That was good. And John and Cena's good on paper.
Yeah.
So half the matches were good, half the matches unwanted. Too cramped.
Yeah.
6 matches, 1 PLE. No.
What did you think of the quality of the matches? You know, the matchups. You're getting Cody and Randy, which is, you know, that's an all-timer right there. You're getting John and Punk for the last time. That boosted my rating a little bit. But then you've also got Sami and Karrion, which is, in my opinion, is a Monday Night Raw match, dude. The way the feud's going.
I will say this: 3 of the matches they had the superstars like Rhea, Jacob, and Sami. And then the other 3, Karrion, Raquel, Solo.
Yeah.
Just bring that match down. They're not very superstar material. I get you want to put people on PLEs, but man, some of those guys just did not need to be there.
No, and I think the feuds they weren't worthy of it. The only one that I can say was worthy of it was Solo and Jacob. And even then, they've not built much. It's like previous history. But Rhea and Raquel, Sami and Karrion, dude, that's a nothing burger of a feud right now. But I'm ready to give you my score, dude, if you're ready for it. My score for the match card was a B. I gave it a B. I didn't think it was too bad. I share your thoughts though. It was 6 matches was kind of crazy. That felt to me like a SummerSlam, like a night one of a SummerSlam or something. A few matches I would have caught. Maybe Solo and Jacob could have just been on a Friday Night SmackDown, dude, low key. Sami and Karrion, that's got Raw written all over it. But I think 6 matches was a bit too much, yeah. But overall, Randy and Cody carried, John and Punk carried. I can't knock it entirely just for that. So I give it a B. What'd you give it, dude?
I thought B was a bit high. I went with C because I feel like I really only enjoyed maybe like 2 matches out of the 6. And the rest was just okay.
So that's a B from me, C from Bev, dude. You're being harsher than I thought. Next up, we got the crowd. What did you think of the crowd overall, dude?
I thought they were very good, actually.
They were very good. I agree.
I mean, they were loud start to finish, made their voice heard. However, they were a bit quiet for Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn in the building, and they weren't loud at all.
That's their boy.
I don't know if it was an issue with Karrion Kross that he made it just boring.
It could have been.
I mean, I cannot believe they weren't loud in that match. Going crazy for Rhea.
Yeah, they did go crazy
and
for Rhea.
I gave him a good B.
You gave him a B?
A B is really high.
A B is really good. I'm not hating.
God.
I went for an A, though, dude. I think they were as good as a crowd can get. They were, like, you know, when a match is so hyped, they've got the chatter all through it.
Yeah.
You had the lights on all night. They had you see the posters of Punk that they all had? They were definitely handed that shit.
The posters that they handed out.
Were handed out, I know, but they were waving that shit. I thought they were really good for a crowd. And, dude, compare this to, 5 years ago, Saudi shows? Like, they really have come a long way. And it's like, it's almost like any crowd that's not American. It's just fire, dude. So, I give it an A. You went for a B?
Yeah, B. I mean, they weren't fucking France back in France.
They were not shaking the camera, bro. But next up, you want to go match quality?
Match quality.
This is divisive.
King and Queen of the Ring, very good matches. Enjoyable. There was a little botch with Jade, but overall, really good. Sami, Karrion Kross, terrible match. Wanted to just die. Solo and Jacob, good match. However, it was just overbooked. A bit unenjoyable. With how many Bloodline members. This is the 3rd iteration of the Bloodline.
I know.
It's just a bit jarring.
When does it end?
And then John Cena, serviceable match.
Yeah.
Rhea, Raquel, sleeper match. Really good match.
Actually a sleeper match, yeah.
Very enjoyable.
100%.
Did not think it was going to be that good. So overall, I'm going to go B.
B.
I rated it very high.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I share a lot of the same points as you, dude. I had a big problem with the main event. CM Punk, and I'm not going to hate on it all because of a botch, right? But Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker came out. They didn't catch Punk on that dive, and he almost landed on his fucking neck. Yeah. Then they choke slammed him through a table, and they couldn't they both didn't go up at the same time, so it looked really awkward. It had no impact. I felt that it was really overbooked when it should have really just been Punk and John last time. It really is like they hit gold with the formula at Mania 40. And they're trying to replicate that in every big match. You know what I mean? With the overbooking, the interferences, dude. I don't know. I didn't like that much. The street fight was really fun for a street fight featuring Raquel and Rhea. I really enjoyed that. Some really creative spots with the riptide off the table was fire. I loved that. Sammy match, nothing to write about, dude. Literally, Sammy doing a moonsault off the barricade will always be impressive, but it was just a Raw match. Like the whole start to finish, the end of the match, the finish where he Sammied up and hit the haluva kick is like everything we've seen from Sammy, dude. And I love Sammy, but it just really didn't reinvent the wheel at all. Cody and Randy confused me at parts because of the whole heel stuff. Randy going for the Punk kick, Cody trying to torture Randy against the turnbuckle and getting boos for it. Nothing felt special was my point. Nothing felt like that match was crazy. Like, if we had clipped it for TikTok, I think we would have struggled because there was nothing really crazy besides the results. And then people are talking about that Jade Cargill botch at the end where she leant back on the Jaded and lifted Asuka up on the pin, and then the ref counted anyway. I don't really care too much about that. I thought nothing was special. Nothing was blowing me away. Jacob and Solo was fine as well. So I've given it a C. I think that's passable. It was passable. It was fine. There's nothing too much to write about. And next up, we have booking. Now, this is what I've heard a lot of people talk about, dude. Do you want to get into your thoughts?
The whole show was booked completely wrong. Mm-hmm. I'd only have 2 of the 6 matches, in my opinion, were booked right.
Wow.
So I think I'm going to go D, just because of how terrible it was.
That's the worst score we've gotten so far. And, dude, I've got a hard time arguing with them, dude. I've gone for a C, just a little bit up, because I thought, hear me out. Solo winning was... I wouldn't have done that. I would have had him win at SummerSlam instead and have this big-ass Samoan guy debut at SummerSlam instead and have Solo win his first title there. This was Jacob's second defense. He should not have lost this just yet. He could have carried this until August, dude. Have a few more exhibition defenses. And then lose it at SummerSlam. I don't think this should have happened yet. In my opinion as well, and I've heard this sentiment echoed, Karrion and Raquel should have won, dude. They really should have.
100%.
Yeah, you agree.
Those two should have won. The 2 people that beat them are already superstars. They're already established. They don't need this.
Not at all.
They needed that. They need that push.
Yeah.
They could have been... I mean, Raquel outdid herself.
Yeah,
and she could be setting herself to superstardom if she'd carry on having matches like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we want to give Rhea every match, every win possible. It's ridiculous. Same with Sammy.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And I get that Sammy's the hometown hero. They never really have hometown heroes lose, right? Raquel needed this win, as did Roxanne Perez, because there's a whole storyline going on at the minute over on Raw where Roxanne Perez is sort of sliding into the Judgment Day whilst Liv's out with injury, and she needed this win to help Raquel win, to endear herself to the group, because at the minute she's just been taken in with open arms and she's not really done anything besides steal a win over Liv Morgan. Like, she needed this win. Raquel did. Rhea would have been absolutely a-okay fine, dude. Karrion needed this win as well, because at the minute Sammy and Karrion, their feud, you can bury it here, dude. He's beating him at a big stage at PLE. There's nothing here to do. Cena winning, yeah, he was always gonna. What else did we have? Solo winning, I wouldn't have had that, but okay, I guess. And Jade winning was the right choice as well. Yeah, apart from that, dude, I probably could have gone a bit lower. I think C was just... They really played it safe, didn't they? This was a very people-pleasing show.
I mean, the show was that predictable. I got 5 of the 6 right.
You did.
Unlike you.
Moving on to moments.
Honestly, I thought the show, moments-wise, very... happy with it. I mean, the finale of the King and Queen of the Ring, that's just a layup. The moment is crowning a king and a queen. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's just a cool moment. So that easy layup. Mm-hmm. Rhea, Raquel, that whole match.
The spot,
they're really good. Solo's crazy upset.
Yes,
I didn't think he was going to win that. The only thing, and then obviously we've got CM Punk and John. The last time is a
moment in itself. Yeah.
So I think every match had like a good moment, good feel moment. So I gave it a B. The only thing that let it down was Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe we're in Saudi Arabia and that they were probably the deadest for that match.
I know, it is crazy, but that just shows the importance of storytelling for matches, dude. The fans won't just cheer anything. They need something to chew on here. I also went with a B, so we're agreeing there. Yeah, moments. There was plenty of moments, dude. Like, there just was, like you said, the King and Queen of the Ring was always going to be a moment. Cena and Punk for the last time was always going to be a moment. You did have the returns, the debut. Well, you did have return. Tonga Loa, the GOAT, is back. That was crazy. It was cool. There was plenty to talk about here. It's definitely, there was definitely a fair share of moments.
The moments wasn't the issue with this PLE.
No.
The issue was the booking.
Yeah, I wasn't
I think
happy.
that was the main issue.
I'd say the booking and the quality of matches for me. The fact that the matches were so bog standard, besides the street fight and maybe Cody and Randy, everything else, I've written it down. Every other match, right, would have been a standout on SmackDown. It would have been a standout on SmackDown, and that's about it, dude. For a PLE, nothing much. Literally nothing much.
The card's just too much.
It is.
I can't digest 6 matches, dude.
No.
Because with a PLE, you need a lot of time to work. It should have been 4 matches, I think. Get rid of that Karrion, Sammy.
Yeah, easily. For the second to last category, we've got memorability. We will be talking about this show in a year, in 5 years. How memorable was it? Are we getting in the car together the next day and like, that shit was crazy, this happened, that happened? What do you think, dude?
I did not think this is going to be memorable.
I'm right with you.
I mean, we just talked about how good the moments in the show was, but they were kind of forgettable.
They were forgettable.
We're not going to remember this in like 3 months' time. We're going to move on to the next thing with the PLE.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to be talking about this in years to come. Yeah, very forgettable show.
What score did you give it?
I gave it a C.
Yeah,
it wasn't terrible, but
me too, dude. Yeah, I've written down here in my notes. It did just wash over me, and you know what? I really don't want to talk about this for too long because we've talked about it a lot on the channel. But John Cena's heel run, right? A lot of it is washing over me because I'm not happy with the heel run. John and Randy, I feel like I should be in tears over this shit, and I'm just not. I don't care. Like, Punk and John, it was cool in the moment, but like, Punk had the 2011 Money in the Bank gear on, but it is just washing over me. It's not memorable. It really wasn't, dude. I feel like we know what a memorable show is. We've seen memorable shows. Survivor Series when Punk came back. Survivor Series the year after when Punk was part of the, the Tribal Chiefs team and stuff like that. We've had many memorable shows, but this wasn't it. And there was nothing. There really wasn't anything for me. And then we move into overall. Now, everything that we've said in this video so far, if Bev loved the show, regardless of all of that, he can give it an A. It doesn't matter. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just what we believe. Bev, do you want to get into it?
Oh, I kind of just averaged out my answers.
There you go. You can do that too.
Yeah, just with all my answers. And I do think this is the right choice. Overall, I'm going to give this show a C because an A would be like WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
A B would be just below that, like some crazy Bash in Berlin.
Yeah.
What was the PLE? The France one?
Oh, Backlash.
Backlash in France.
Yep.
That would have been like a B. This was just a C, solid, but nothing too much.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've also gone for a C. I think that moving forward in my life watching wrestling, this is the logo of the C, bro. Like, it was so standard. It just was so standard. And I've written here, maybe it was my expectations were too high, It's super hot in the UK right now. Maybe I was in a bad mood watching it, but I have rewatched a bit since. And I think a lot of matches quality-wise would have been solid on a SmackDown. I think the main event was so overbooked, dude. You had Seth Rollins coming in with the briefcase, like teasing and cash in, but didn't even try to cash in. I saw a comment on TikTok, I believe, that someone was just so upset that CM Punk is stuck in the Seth Rollins vortex. And I agree with it. I really do agree with that. I think Seth Rollins can't get away from Punk and vice versa. And it's interfering with what should have been a very memorable and special last time between Punk and John. You had Penta and Sammy interfering in that match, and Braun and Bronson, and it's like, dude, just leave them to it, bro. You should have just left them to it. I don't know. I think it is just a C of a show. It really is, dude. That's our thoughts, right?
That's it.
Cool. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you like this new style of review. It allows us to really get into it and look at every layer of a show and what we liked and what we didn't like. So there you have it. That's for Night of Champions. We're now looking forward to whatever's up next. I don't even know. Saturday Night's Main Event, I believe, or Evolution maybe. But we will be there to cover it. Join us on the YouTube for our more shorter content and our TikToks. Live match reactions. We're also live on Spotify and Apple Music every week for our audio podcast. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching.
NoPop.
NoPop.